everyone, and welcome back. It is almost Valentine's Day as I'm filming this, and I wanted to do a video quite similar to one I did last year that I was shocked at how many people ended up liking. I know that Valentine's Day can be not the funnest holiday for everyone, and some people are very anti-Valentine's Day, whatever the case may be. But I've always liked looking at Valentine's Day as being about so much more than just romantic love. And whatever kind of love you may want to celebrate, I think that it's the perfect day to do so. Whether that love is with someone else or for yourself. And so, last year I made a video which was titled Covering You in Love, and just all about reminding you that you are in fact loved, even if it doesn't always feel like it. I think all of us, have been in those positions where we just feel like, how could anyone love me? Even if we've got a ton of people around us who it's clear they do. Or if you don't, everybody's situation is different. But I wanted to make another video similar to that because even though I have that video from last year, I think it's always good, to do something, I guess not fresh because it's going to be very similar, but to do something again just to remind you that you are loved. Whether you want to celebrate Valentine's Day or not, you've got a lot of love in your life. And similar to last year, I'd like to start things out with this super fun brush that I found last year. It has all these wonderful, sequins inside of it. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. But yeah, I just want to use this to start off by, of course, brushing away anything that might be getting in the way of you, recognizing just how much you are loved, any doubts you may have about others' ability to love you. I just want to help you, clear your mind of all of that, and hopefully get some nice tingles in the meantime as well. Sound good? Great. So, just going to come in and gently brush along your face. I hope that feels nice and soft and sweet, as you should feel, both literally and figuratively on Valentine's Day. And erase from your mind any doubts that that you aren't loved or aren't capable of being loved, because it's not true. Those are thoughts I struggle with quite often. I think for me it's actually more of when it comes to a friendship type love. I've always been someone who has kind of struggled to make good friends. The friends I have, I hold so dear, and I have like very small, close-knit circles of friends, but I can be sociable. I'm an introvert who can be sociable when I need to, but I've always struggled to like get that extra step and actually like really getting close to people as a friend. And it's something I've dealt with all my life and made me really struggle with the idea that, like, am I capable of having friends that love me? Because I do think that friendships, there's a lot of love there. And so, that's just an example to show you that you're definitely not alone in having those kinds of doubts. But they are just doubts. In my case, I may not have a ton of friends who I have that kind of connection with, but I've got some really good ones. And I think that's always important. It can be hard to think about what we have when there might be very important things in our lives that we don't have. But even if things aren't perfect, if they're not ideal, it is not an indicator that, we can't have that ideal scenario. Of course, I think that those type of doubts that I have regarding friendship relationships, there are types of doubts that apply to any relationship. And I think it's important to remember that not are certain types of love, from certain types of relationship, there's not one that is, more valuable than the others. Whether it be romantic, love with your family, friends, maybe like, I don't know, you have a community at like your yoga class or something. I think that there are smaller relationships that we have with people that can be filled with love that we forget about. And that we even take for granted. So hopefully doing this brushing will help clear your mind to not just to erase all of those bad thoughts and doubts, but also to help clear your mind and help you recognize any of those relationships that maybe you have taken for granted, that are filled with a lot of love. Love doesn't have to be some deep, passionate thing either. It doesn't need to be something you show with incredibly grand gestures. Simple acts of kindness towards people, I think, are signs of love. So I hope that by the end of this little video, maybe you can recognize something that you didn't before. I don't know if I mentioned it just now. I know I mentioned it in the video I made last year, but the love of animals is so important, I guess. I can't think of another word, but I think that's something that is quite taken for granted. We underestimate just how much animals can feel and how much they can show towards us. And there are jokes about, people treating their dogs like children. I think that's a millennial thing. Like, instead of having kids, millennials are just getting a bunch of dogs and, treating them like they're children. And it's funny to joke about, but I mean, that emotional capacity is clearly there for animals. And the love that they're capable of showing is just so unconditional in a way that I think a lot of humans struggle with, actually. If you're someone who doesn't buy into that, I guess you can ignore that bit, but one day you'll experience the love of an animal towards you, and you'll understand. And of course, I've only mentioned a couple of different types of relationships, or different people or communities that we can find love in. But it can be anything that's important to you. Alright, let me give you quick extra dust. It's going to be just a little fast. Is that okay? Just come in. Just get any leftover artifacts stuck up in your mind. Dust them away. Blow them away. Lovely. Alright, so hopefully we have your mind cleared. Now, I'd like to come in with this rose quartz massaging tool. And yes, we are going to do a little massaging around your face because a big part of self-love, in my opinion, is taking time to pamper yourself and treat yourself well. So I'm going to make sure you get pampered today. But also use this to draw just as sort of a little, visualization. Just draw some hearts on your face. It could come across as a little corny, but I think having some sort of visualization for me, at least. Sorry, I feel like I'm saying me a lot. I'm just trying to create something relatable, I guess. So sorry. I don't mean to be like self-centered or anything right now. But I think it helps, to have any sort of little visualization to, just focus on, so your mind doesn't wander, so your mind can visualize something that's not physical, and help you visualize all of that love that you do have in your life. It's there, even if you don't always recognize it. Maybe you're too busy to stop and recognize it, and that's why, you feel like you're not as loved as you might think others are or something. Whatever the case may be. Just to help you out just a bit. So first I'm going to come in and just massage your temples a bit. I think this will really help. It's just getting you to relax. That's so important too. And helping us to focus. Just right along your temple here. So that way you can calm down a bit more. Forget about the distractions. And just feel good. Again, it is also is kind of corny, but self-love is so important. I think, and I'm sure there are other people, I'm sure this is actually something that's quite common. But I think I first heard this on actually a skincare channel on YouTube. Cassandra Bankston, is that her name? She's an esthetician, and I don't quite remember what the topic of the video was, but she mentioned how, we give so much of ourselves to others when we don't have enough, to make sure we are okay. And she used the example of, if you have a cup that's overflowing, then you have enough for yourself as well as for others. But if you have a cup that's only, half full with something, then you don't have enough for yourself. And if you give some of that to others, you're going to even have even less for yourself. And I just think that was a nice example of how, it's, no, we don't want to be selfish, but it is so important to make sure that we ourselves are okay before making sure others' needs are met. I know there's some exceptions to that, but think of it on like a flight, how you're supposed to, when the air things come down in case of an emergency, always put yours on before helping the person next to you, like make sure you're gonna be okay first. It's so important. So if anything, I hope, this video will help you at least ensure that you guarantee love for yourself, from yourself. Alright, so come in, just going to come in and again draw some nice little hearts on your face, and this is very smooth, I've just used it on your temples, very smooth, sort of cooling material, being rose quartz, so it should feel very nice and soothing as I just trace some sweet shapes onto you, all over. And as I trace these hearts on your face, which with each heart, as the rose quartz glides over your skin, just imagine the hearts glowing a sweet rosy color, and it almost tickles your face. Maybe it feels a little warm, like there's a little heat. Or maybe it's a little cool, like a cooling sensation. Or maybe it's like an icy hot situation and you get both. Whichever of those sounds nicest to you, that's what this feels like. And it's so soothing. And eventually, we have all of these hearts, one by one. You feel different hearts, either heating up or cooling down your face. And eventually, slowly, that sweet sensation starts to spread across your whole face. And soon enough, there's not a single spot on your face that isn't tingling with that lovely feeling. Maybe you even start to get a little dizzy from the feeling because it's so sweet. Not quite an overwhelming feeling, but it is enough to make you just a little dizzy with how much love you are being covered in. I'm going to come in and give you one more big heart, just tracing your face, and then one on each eye right here, and right there. Lovely. I'm just taking that sensation from the rose quartz. don't know how well it'll show up. I hope I'm not blinding you. But this purple light, sort of a mixture of purple and pink, wrapped in a plastic bag to try and diffuse the light a little bit in the hopes that it'll keep it from blinding you. But I want to come over and just brush down your face. Just glide down with the light. And let the heat from these purple, pinkish lights melt all of those hearts, all of that love that we traced into your face. Let it melt that in and just sink in. And fill you up with all of that love. So, how this is, like that. Is that okay? Hopefully. I'm gonna just come down like this. I'll get a little close and then also too far away a bit. Just to make sure the heat from the light stays comfortable. It shouldn't be too hot. It should be a rosy, warm type feeling. Like I said, that heat will melt all of those hearts. Feel them start to glow. This gradient of purple and pink. They start to glow and ticklish, tingling sensation you felt as we traced them onto your face slowly starts to creep back. And you feel those hearts those bits of love start to sink in to your skin. And as they sink in, you feel that warm or cool, whichever one it is for you. You feel it start to slowly spread. Slowly spread down your neck, across your chest, with a extra strong sensation right where your heart is. Feel it spread down your arms to the tips of your fingers. Feel that sensation spread even further down your torso, even further down to your hips, your thighs, your calves, ankles, the heels of your feet down to your sweet toes. Just a ripple. A ripple or current of purple warmth. Slowly spreading like a soft wave through your whole body until you are completely filled up with love. And even once that love is already spread, I want to take just a moment to continue to let this light radiate over you and just give you some time to enjoy it. Alright, I want to come in one more time with one more brush. Just a quick brush, just right around here. Make sure everything, all of that love is soaked in. Just smooth it out a bit. Like this. Just for a few more seconds. Alright. Now, we've covered you in all of that love. And I'm just going to pat it in with my hands. Just a bit, just as a final touch. Maybe smooth it in a bit too. And as I pat all of that in, again, just continue to remember. Even though you may not see it right away, you have got a lot of love in your life. Even when someone is blatantly showing us love, those doubts that hopefully we got rid of earlier, they can still be there. It's like someone is showing us love, and we're like, why would they do that? Like questioning their actions even when they're trying to make it so obvious for us. And I think those are some of the things that I hope that you can recognize. Leading up to Valentine's Day, and for a long time after. I do enjoy celebrating Valentine's Day, but we don't need it to celebrate the love we have in our lives. And I say that, you've got a lot of love in your life. Remember that a lot of love doesn't mean from a lot of people. It can, but it doesn't have to be a lot of people. It can be one single person. But you could be the world to them. It's about quality, not quantity. And I think quality creates quantity in a lot of ways when it comes to love. So when you recognize that love that you have in your life, don't you dare compare it to others. Because just because your love doesn't look like what the love that you see around you, or it doesn't look like the love that is talked about or sung about, I guess, in your favorite songs or shown in art or on social media or whatever. Don't you dare compare it, because it is unique, and as long as it is true, as long as it is sincere, that's all that matters. And you'll know if it's true. Stop questioning yourself. Stop doubting whoever is giving you that love. Just be. Just be with them and be in the presence of what it is that they are giving to you. And you will know if it is true love. True love is often used to describe romantic love, but true love in the sense of any type of love. And don't forget to, I just want to say one more thing. I mentioned this last year, and I think it's important. If you've had people in your life who have loved you, who aren't in your life for whatever reason anymore, don't doubt that their love was real, or was there, or don't think that it has no meaning now that they're gone. Especially if maybe they're, the relationship ended on bad terms or something. That doesn't mean that the love that they had for you at one point wasn't real. And that alone should be proof that you are, in fact, capable of being loved. And should and deserve to have love in your life. Love that we aren't actively experiencing anymore. It doesn't mean it's gone. And whether you choose to celebrate or not, I wish you a lovely Valentine's Day, filled with love. Whether it's a grand, passionate gesture of it, or it's just the simple little things in your life from others. The simple daily signs of love. you'll see